Welcome everyone to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. Melbourne, hey? It was a tough one. I'm going to do the fan review because pretty much I went through about 150 questions and all the 150 questions are about the same thing. So I figured we'll have a heart-to-heart together. But obviously Carlton go down by 5 points. They kick the last two. And Carlton lose. It was a weird one, wasn't it? Because we asked the boys to come out. And I don't want to get into... I think it's a very dangerous area if you start praising players for effort. What I saw last night, for me, was the bare minimum requirement of what I expect from anyone who's paid to do anything, whether it be McDonald's flipping burgers, whether it be a real estate agent, and that is to have a bit of pride in what you do. And I always question, if you don't have pride in what you do, something I say to my staff, if you don't enjoy what you do and you don't have pride, why the fuck are you doing it? Because life is too short. And it's a good thing to say, life is too short. They brought it to them. We said at the start in the preview that these sides bleed like you. They breathe the same air as you do. You've got to just take away their space. And they did that exceptionally well. It has to be said. The boys really did knuckle down to the task. It wasn't the classic that you'd expect probably for a Saturday night game. It was very, 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 very pressure based. It was very finals based. Do you know what I mean? Two sides that were looking to impose themselves. Carlton wrestled the game back. Do you know what I mean? It was a good game. Real good game, I'd say, for the impartial to watch in the terms of excitement. But I mean, how we lost that game is really, the writing was on the wall. It wasn't the first time that you saw Young and Marchbank crash into each other. We saw Young and McGovern crash into each other a few times. McGovern and Marchbank crash into each other a few times. As the ball came in, it was just nerves. And then the ball would come in again, nerves. And that has been kind of a product of Carlton for the last 4 weeks, as opposed to what we've seen in the early part of the year, where there was a little bit of a surety, there was a little bit of looking to take the game on, a little bit of dash and dare. And it's kind of understandable, I suppose, human psychology, when the game gets close to your goal, you're going to be a little bit nervous. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to ever blame anyone for nerves at all, because everyone experiences nerves in some capacity. It's how you deal with them. That one really kicks you in the dick, though, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? To do all that work, and from when Charlie kicks that goal, do you know what I mean? 29 minutes gone. Do you know what I mean? There's 4 minutes to play in real time. There was 4 minutes 30 seconds to lose it like that, and that was nerves. I'm not going to blame any player individually, but they always kick backwards. Do you know what I mean? The noon spilled mark. Do you know what I mean? The 3-on-1 contest down the wing. These are all rudimentary basics. When you've got 3 players going up for the ball, how the fuck that's not spoiled? I can't even fathom in my mind how that happens. Like, I understand pressure and nerves, but we talked at the start of the game, there's 8 quarters that separate us from finals. Each game is broken up quarter by quarter. To be in that situation for 4 quarters, a goal and a bit in it all the time, to fall short on the most rudimentary play in the last 2 minutes takes the sting out of it. Gutted was the word that Vossi used. Gutted. It's probably the undersell of the season, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? He said something that I thought was very compelling. A bit of detail the last couple of minutes we didn't quite get right. It's the focus on the last 2 minutes. To kill the game off. And he used terms like brave and great style of football that can be replicated. I agree with him to an extent. There was, for me, pressure. I talk about this a lot, and I want you to know where I'm coming from with this. Pressure around the ball and shit. That is pride in what you do. That's a willingness to put your head over the ball, the willingness to put your body, something greater than yourself when you're in a team. And you don't have to play elite sport in a team environment to know this. The ownership of doing the basics is a self-pride thing. It's a very, very self-preservation thing. And it's a good thing because sometimes self-preservation is bad. But for me, having pride in your work is doing the basics right. Do you know what I mean? And priding yourself on getting the basics right. And it's something that you see in all types of industries. It's what separates the great from the good. Do you know what I mean? The good can do exceptional things once in a while. Pride, those with pride become great because nothing is too big for them. And that really stings. That takes the tail out of it because that last 2 minutes, do you know what I mean? We could take them on the training track now and you can prepare for them last 2 minutes. And always hits that target. Nunes takes that mark. That 3-on-1 becomes a 2-on-1. One spoils, one stays behind just in case. So these little basic things. And the execution this week wasn't great as I'd expect. The pressure signs are still there massively. But you can kind of hide them if you defend. Like Spartans, and they did. Obviously now, where does that leave us? I honestly don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am so flat, and I don't think I've ever felt this low in my life. Whatever Dante's 7 versions of hell, I'm 8. Because that stings, man. That stings, and we've now got a real important duty as fans. A really important duty, because I've started to see it already on socials. And you know what? A lot of the major socials this week demanded pressure, demanded effort, demanded intensity. Stand up and be counted. Cripper, 12 tackles, inspirational. Do you know what I mean? Led from the front. Do you know what I mean? Credit to the man. Gotta give him credit. Doc on the ball, credit to the man. Fought like a tiger. Our leaders were poor with the ball at times, but they stood up and did them basics. Do you know what I mean? Them tackles, and they led from the front in that avenue. But it's no surprise that a lot of a lot of the big socials talked about demanding standards. And I keep drilling this home into you that the fans are a huge part of it. Huge part of it. So now we've had 8 minutes of feeling sorry for ourselves. And it hurts. And it's good to hurt. It's good to hurt. But now we've got to take that pain into something positive. And Sunday, do you know what I mean? 3 o'clock, 3:30 hits. Doesn't get much fucking bigger than that, does it? You know what I mean? And it started already 3:20 at the MCG. Do you know what I mean? 100 years of rivalry. 110 years of rivalry. Really starts to show. In my opinion, probably one of the biggest rivalries. Do you know what I mean? Biggest rivalries in sport. A huge, huge game. A huge game. A game that can trace the hatred back to 1910. A huge brawl breaks out, do you know what I mean? The fight that made Collingwood go on by 14, do you know what I mean? Short and Percy taking 18-month suspensions. Baxter and Bequee taking 12-month suspensions. This game goes on and on in history. And their fan base has already started, do you know what I mean? Doing what they do. Do you know what I mean? Cowards do what cowards do. Do you know what I mean? They fight unfairly, and we've got to bring that intensity. You've seen them pot shots from us. Don't get this wrong. This is a game, but this is a game that's steeped in rivalry. And these boys now have to rise. They're going to enjoy, talking about the 5-hour stream. Because you know why they don't have a 5-hour stream? Because they're not conducive. They're not fucking family like us. They're taking pot shots at me, and I'll take these pot shots all day. They can clip their little fucking mincy little fucking clips. Do you know what I mean? Saying Pom's in fucking Sweet League's DMs and stuff. Make it something there's not. You know, put character flaws. Because that's how they fight. They don't fight about our football club. They fight about individuals. They'll go around now saying, who's Pom fucking making mental health awareness? And you know what? Some fucking Carlton fan channels will embrace it because that's where our problem is. It's where our problem is. We've got to be united. A united workforce. And I speak to you, my Carlton brothers and sisters. They need you. They need you to see these cheap pot shots they'll throw at us. And you know what? You defend yourselves by fucking backing these boys in. You back your team in. You back your team in. This is Carlton. Do you know what I mean? One more game. 4 fucking quarters. Fuck what Voss says. Fuck what the club says. This is just another game. This is not another game. This is Carlton standing on the precipice of cementing this long rebuild. And I fucking hate Collingwood. And I know you guys and girls do. Standing on the shoulder of giants, 22 men go out to battle for our tribe, and that's Carlton Football Club. And remember that. So any little bollocks you've got about anyone else, we're in this together. And trust me, there's a lot of people I dislike, but this week we are well and truly brothers and sisters against a common foe. And they're going to come hard at us. They've started taking pot shots at Terry. They've started taking pot shots at me. And you know what? It will get personal on their ends. Do you know what I mean? They will be the ones that will virtual signal. They will be the ones that, you know, fucking do that. We won't do that. Because we're better than that. We're better than that. I'm telling you now. If you see a chance to cheap pot shot someone, don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Defend yourself by all means. This is war. We're at war. And they're going to fight dirty. And you know what? When people fight dirty, you stand up. Stand up and be counted. My brothers who are going out to represent me on Sunday, you stand up. You be counted. They're going to come hard for you. They're going to target you. They're going to say all sorts because they have a chance to knock you out of the 8. You know what? You stand tall, gentlemen, because we're behind you. Stand tall. Look them in the eyes because they're cowards. They're gutless. They'll take cheap shots. They will fight fair. You know what? The weight of the world is on their shoulders because we will rise. We will rise. We're Carlton Football Club. And we do not fucking take a step down. So go out there, ladies and gentlemen. Be sad for the moment, but realise Monday morning hits and we've got a fucking job to do. And that's get these boys over the bloody line. And I will fucking love it if we beat them. Because there is no sets of people that fucking rile me up like them. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, they ain't like you and me. Do you know what I mean? They play. They play at being good people. And we know who we are. Do you know what I mean? Warts and all. At least we can admit it. So let's go out there. Let's cheer these boys home. And let's fucking get this 4 points. Because I fucking hate them. Hate them. Let's drag these Blues boys home. Let's do it. As a family. Do you know what I mean? Let's do this. For the fucking greats of this game. And let's get into the finals. On our terms. Back where we belong. Because I hate fucking losing it. And tell you what. No one better take a step down. No step downs. Monday morning. Socials is going to be a hot place. If you can't stand the heat. Get out of the kitchen. Let's do it. For the boys, for the club, for ourselves. Pom loves you. Pom out.